Aaronville is concerned about dangers on the road. The Moblin settlement of Earthenshire is not far from here, but be warned. The road we'll be taking is a favorite hunting ground for bandits. With the stairs currently impassable, there will be fewer travelers, meaning the brigands will be desperate for victims to ambush. Although considering present company, I suppose my concern is unwarranted. Bandits on the road? What have Zeralja and the Landsguard been doing? Seems it's up to me to restore order to the area. And off she goes again. For now, we'll head west and aim for the bank of the Second River. Well, where are these bandits? Apparently they're not foolish enough to attack a party of this size. Earthenshire's a little farther ahead, on the opposite bank of Miakabekzoma. That's actually one of the better ones, to be honest. On the opposite bank of Miakabekzoma, but let's remain vigilant all the same. Some of the zone names and the, words from Tyrol have been real bamboozles on me trying to read/pronounce them. I never thought there will be pronunciation that I am struggling with more than when Polish is pulling out like 6 or 7 consonants back to back, but we found it. By now, I've read it enough to be able to say that the main city is Tuliolol. But Tylenol is a good alternative. Reminds me of Macaroni Angle. This is it. The village where the Lay of Pots from the Tuliolol saga took place. Earthenshire, Idleshire. Might the similarity be a cultural inclination, I wonder? The settlements themselves couldn't be more different, though. This shire appears custom-built to resemble Potts, while the other is a repurposed town. Oh, let's go, I love Gobby speak. Let's go. Welcome to Earthenshire. Do I have the pleasure of happy greeting the Third Promise and her retinue? That's us. We're looking for the Dawn Servant Selector, if you happen to know who that is. Whoa. You are exchanging tongue flaps with her right now. Rhetorok is the elector you seek. Oh, that's helpful. We can cut straight to performing the feat. As much as Rhetorok would like to do just that, we have a much more pressing worry. The storm which hit our village shattered the cliffs and dropped rocks on our brain cases. Many Helphands for the Potsworn were injured. This is no time for feats or metal tests. I'm sorry to hear that. After learning what the storm did to the stairs, I feared you'd been caught in its path. Not to change the subject, but what are the Potsworn? Goldsmiths contracted to work for the Moblins. The word comes from the pot-like workshops where they practice their craft. The Moblins provide these Potsworn with tools, materials, living quarters, everything the artisans could possibly need. This allows them to concentrate on producing what is widely known as the finest gold and metalwork in Tyrol. This is unacceptable. I was promised no distractions. That's interesting. I thought that, the Pelu Pelu were producing the finest, like jewelry, gold and silver and all. Because they said that when you want to buy someone a gift, you get it from the Pelu Pelu, right? Or am I misremembering what was said? Maybe they're competitors. If this is the best they can offer, I should have never left Wachumeki Meki. Okay, or maybe they are siphoning artisans from the Pelu Pelu in that case. You see? The Potsworn desert us. Without enough healthy Helphands, we are failing to uphold our side of the Pot Pact. Should all our Potsworn leave, Earthenshire will grind to a halt. We have to do something, and do it soon. Then let us stand in for the injured helpers. It would give me the chance to learn more about your people and your village, and if it brings us closer to beginning the feat, then all the better. This isn't strictly part of the contest, so don't feel obligated to join in. Take a rest while you can. Of course I'll help. I was hoping you'd say that. I actually wasn't sure if I could do this on my own. We'll all help. I doubt any of us could just sit around and watch. We'll take every help hand we can get. Rhetoric truth swears that once the Potsworn have their perfect workshops again, we will commence the feat with all haste. You and the third promise can assist Helphand Rakarok. You other four follow Rhetoric. There are other help hands in need of hand lending. I really appreciate you pitching in. I meant what I said at many fires. There will be no more feigning strength, no more playing at being an invincible promise. If there's one thing I've learned on this journey, it's how practiced you are at aiding those in need. And I mean to make the most of having such an incredible mentor at my side. Now let's find this Rakarok fellow and see what we can do for him. Doot. Go. Rakarok can't meet his obligations without more help hands. The pot pact is broken and the pots are emptying. Maybe they're also like a supplier to the Pelu Pelu. You've come to aid Rakarok? Rakarok accepts your hand lending with joyous feel smiles. If we can offer the Potsworn their promised good living, we might save the day yet. Whatever you need. Rakarok needs help learning about the Potsworn Kahe. Go. What Rakarok needs is for new help hands to create good living for Potsworn Kahe. The help hand assigned to Kahe was hurt during the rock rain, so Rakarok took over. But he knows nothing of Kahe. What does Kahe want? What does Kahe need? Help hands do not bother the Potsworn with straight tasks. Our job is to observe and anticipate, to prefer things with guess-think. Please, guess-think with Rakarok. Find out what Kahe is lacking so we can provide it. You can count on us. This is where Kahe works, is it? Let's take a peek inside then. That must be Kahe. It'd be a lot quicker if we could just talk to him, but that's not the way they do things around here, apparently. We'll have to leave him be, and try our hands at some guess-think. Inspect the workshop, you may move the camera, as well as zoom in and out. Untouched meal. Shakshuka. He's barely touched his meal. That dish is meant to be eaten hot, or it loses its savor. He must be boiling sitting so close to the furnace, and there's no airflow to speak of. How could anyone work in that stifling heat? Well, he has no shortage of crafting materials. There must be something else he's missing. Maybe he's out of clusters. Those tools are looking pretty worn down. Maybe it's time for some new ones. Alright, after taking a good look, I think I have an idea of what things Kahe might want to improve his working conditions. Let's head back outside and talk to Rakarok. It's going good, going good. Oh, you made your observations? What did you guess think? First off, I noticed Kae hasn't touched his food, and an empty belly can't be good for his concentration. Maybe the cooking isn't to his liking? But our food is very mouth-pleasing. Why wouldn't he want to eat it? Ah, but Rakarok is sure of nothing when it comes to Kahe's tastes. I can help you with that. My brother Kona is also Hetsaro, and while everyone has their personal preferences, there are some they tend to share. Like an aversion to piping hot dishes. If it was brought to him like that, Kahe probably wouldn't have been able to eat it until it cooled down, and by the time he came back to it, he might have found it cold and unappetizing. The simplest solution is to serve dishes that taste good, no matter the temperature. Rakarok never would have thought of that. Would the third promise mind explaining these things to our cook? Not at all. But I don't think that was the only reason Kahe couldn't concentrate. That Sato homeland is hot and dry, but even Kahe seemed to be suffering in front of that furnace. Is there any way you could cool down the workshop? Oh, we could try a drafty shard. They make a lovely breeze. Do you know where we can get one of those? You can gather them from the Shoals of No Return. There are many old boats there, abandoned by those who gave up on their search for the Golden City. So we salvage them from the wrecks. Could you handle that for us, Rain? Oh, and one more thing. From what I could tell, Kahe's files and saws and things were very worn down. Maybe a new set of tools is in order. Ah, Rakarok was too preoccupied with stocking materials, a serious oversight which he will rectify. Supplying good tools for good living is a Helphand's responsibility. Then we all have work to do. We can meet back here when our tasks are done. The Shoals of No Return are past the crags, through a tunnel southeast of here. You should be able to spot the passage from just outside the village. Alright. We need a drafty shard. You're Rain, aren't you? What brings you out here? Ah, the issue with caring for the Potsworn. When they approached me with that same problem, I suggested they commission artisans in Charlian instead. The quality of craftsmanship would be guaranteed after all. However, the Moblins did not care for the idea. Yeah, you're trying to outsource their jobs. Surely it would be more effective to engage a uniformly trained collective. I cannot understand their fixation on individual contracts. Perhaps the custom will make more sense once we begin the feat of pots. Until then, we've been deemed unfit to assist in the matter of Helphands, and are instead tasked with tending the injured. We were on our way back from procuring herbs for Oriange, in fact. Settlements in Kozamaoka, too, have been isolated by the storm's destruction. What would have become of the wounded had we not found a way here? Should I become Dawn's servant? One of my first acts will be to establish reliable trade routes to the capital, when I imagine how much good we can achieve with Charlian technology. My apologies, I have much to consider. Kona simps a little bit too much on. Technology's good and all, but it's like, you know this thing where if you have a hammer, every problem looks like a nail? It's like, to him, the solution to everything is more Charlian influence. If you will excuse us. We'll meet again soon, I'm sure. Take care, Rain. I mean, his approach is still better than the two Mamoja. So at least he's got that going. You spot the tunnel opening. Head through the passage to the Shoals of No Return and recover the Drafty Shard. Quiet nighttime music. Long and slender, Luna tender. Pale blue sounds right. The crystalline shard feels damp in your hand. It does not appear to be the wind crystal. Oh, wind, right. I was thinking blue cool, but we need green. The crystalline shard emanates a soothing whisper of wind. It seems you found the crystal Rakarok sent you to salvage. Go. Is that a cool breeze Rakarok feels? Drafty Shard. The brisk breeze emanating from this wind crystal can be used to fill sails or cool stuffy workshops. Yes, thank you for seek-finding a Drafty Shard. Rakarok will add it to the new set of tools he brought. And I come bearing good tidings. Good food tidings. The cook has prepared a feast fit for the most discerning Hetsato, and it's on its way even as we speak. I can't read today, it seems. Let's go in and see what Kahe thinks of our efforts. I was wondering what occasion called for me to receive so many visitors. A fine meal, new tools, and a welcome source of cool air. Now I remember why I signed a pot pact. I am grateful for your kind considerations. Allow me a moment or two, and I'll reciprocate with a peace worthy of a potsworn. What am I going to do with the plate? An oil lamp to brighten the halls of Valak Shunsa. The craftsmanship satisfies Earthenshire's reputation for quality, I trust. Go, such luster, such brilliance, truly a gift fit for the Dawn Servant. Oh, right, of course. I'm glad you like it. Considering the time I've wasted till now, I hope to continue crafting at this improved pace. I have a contract to fulfill after all. Forgive my interruption. Lamati, I'm told the Elector has deemed the crisis past, and is prepared to task us with the feat. That's great news. Thank you for letting me know. So this is the craft of a potsworn. It is indeed a masterful piece. Thank you for your words of praise, Second Promise. I drew inspiration from Kozama Uka's natural beauty and sought to capture it in my work. I wondered why the Moblins did not simply build a workshop in the city, and now I have my answer. Even Charlian goldsmiths could not easily replicate such exquisite artistry. One cannot create great things if one lacks creative impetus. Puliolal, fortunately, does not want for inspiration. Anyone wishing to learn the basics of a craft would do well to study it there. I was raised among Hetsato more traditional than most, and the shared ingenuity of Tural's various people was eye-opening. You lived as a traditional Hetsato? I have few fond memories of nomadic life. He's more of an indoors catboy. Go. Rakarok is very grateful to you. I thank you both for your hard work and clever guest think. When it comes to help handing, knowing the Potsworn really is important. Well, that's true for pretty much everyone you meet. It's a lesson I've had drummed into me several times already on this journey. Okay, we reached 92 at some point. Ooh. Ona has details to share concerning the forthcoming Feat of Pot. The Elector bids the claimants assemble in a large building on the west side of the village. I will head over after finding Thancred and Urianger. I also ran into the Levier twins on the way here. I took the liberty of directing them to the venue. It's not his job to make sure I know the feat is starting, but even now he's conscientious to a fault. Anyway, let's not keep Rakarok waiting. Go. Rakarok thanks you for assisting Helphand Rakarok. She will announce the feat once the other claimants arrive, so please be patient a little while longer. I'm happy to report that we were able to convince one of the Potsworn to stay. How did you fare? Same. So you managed to do the same. Splendid. Let's go. Welcome to Earthenshire, First Promise. We support your plans for salt crossings and the new Potsworn they will bring. Hail the mighty Zeralja. He cleared many piles of rockfalls as if they were pebble stones, the resilient sun for Dawn Servant. Zeralja was clearing fallen rocks. I'm surprised you would volunteer his time for anything unrelated to the contest. Well, well, we meet again. Just in time for the feat to begin. I'll bet he was already here, laying low while the rest of us did all the work. Go. Claimants, your attention, please. As Rakarok has explained, many of our Potsworn left us following the storm. The precious metalwork crafted by those artisans bring in much jingly shine from across the salt. Should our stream of trade goods dry up, Earthenshire will suffer. Leola merchants will suffer. So Rakarok sets you this feat. Each of you are to find one clever-hand goldsmith to bring back here to us. So we're to recruit new Potsworn. Makes sense for the Feat of Pots. Calling this a feat does not justify taking advantage of the claimants and their influence. How does finding workers for you demonstrate their worthiness for the throne? You are free to refuse Redarok's request. She will be happy to inform the Dawn Servant of Zoralja's disqualification. Got him. Right is a means to an end. The steps we take to get there are not important. Then Redarok declares the feat of pots begun, but remember, a pot pact must be agreed to willingly. No grab snatching or deceitful tongue flaps. No grab snatching, he says. The Elector said nothing of taking a willing artisan from a rival. Which is exactly what we should do. Yeah. A fine suggestion, brother. I'm glad you think so, brother. Come, let us lay our plans. That nasty brute is up to something. Aye. He may seek to delay us again as he did on the river, but we can but remain vigilant while we plot our course. What do you think, Wuklamat? Have you any candidates in mind to satisfy this feat? I know some artisans amongst my supporters, but they're all in their twilight years. I couldn't ask them to give up the comforts of Toliola to live in this remote village, no matter how beautiful the scenery. Meanwhile, Kona probably has 100 young craftspeople to choose from. Not that I'm comparing us, you understand. That's just statement of fact. I suppose we could try asking around Wachumeki Meki. That seems a logical place to start. Back to Tuliolal it is. Wait, does that mean we have to take the boat again? No, I can't do it. I can't stomach another boat ride. You said I should share my burdens, so I will speak plainly. The truth is, I get really, really sick on boats. Wuklamat, this is hardly news. But it was brave of you to admit. In any case, we won't be fighting the current this time. Heading downriver will be much smoother. It will? Are you sure? Oh no, with the watery eyes. Yeah. I'm positive. Mostly. Oh my goodness, she made it. She's still puking in their hand. I need a moment. Upriver or downriver. Ihui Katumu is too rough for me. The nausea is a bit more bearable now that I've stopped trying to hide it, but I'd still rather not set foot on a boat if I can help it. Alright, I think I'm ready. Let's see if Master Ropley can help us recruit a Potsworn. Greetings, Third Promise. What brings you back to Wachumeki Meki? You've not chipped your axe again, have you? No, Master Ropley. Actually, I have a favor to ask. So what do you think? Do you know of any craftsmen who might be interested? Filching my artisans for the moblins, eh? Well, seeing as it's the Third Promise making the request, I'm willing to look the other way if one of them decides to take you up on the offer. Only, I can't think of a suitable candidate off the top of my head. Who do I know with the mastery of goldsmithing that would also have no qualms about relocating to Earthenshire? What of that Ellison man who just started working here? I mean, is he really a master goldsmith? You mean Fan Jantan? He did say he was employed at some fancy jewelry store across the salt. And considering the distance he's already come, I'd like to think he wouldn't mind moving a little up the river. That said, he's only just got himself a new job. Is it too soon to ask him to sign a pot pact? There's no harm in making the offer. Once he hears how well the Potsworn are treated, he may even jump at the chance. Either way, you won't find Fan Jantan at this workbench at this hour. He's finished for the day, probably enjoying a meal over at Balyav Tia. Maybe we should go and talk to him. Just you and me, since he knows us. Wouldn't want him to feel intimidated by having to deal with a crowd of new faces. The two of us can handle this. Take a rest at the cabins if you like. Right, let's go and see a man about a pot. Why didn't we just teleport back? Can Wuklamot not teleport or something? Or are we pretending that the Aetherites and teleporting aren't a thing for plot reasons? Oh, Rain, you're here too. The third promise said she wanted to chat. I've just finished eating, so shall we find a quiet spot outside? The last time we talked on this beach, you were in a miserable state. Ah, yes, I was, wasn't I? A lost soul, until the two of you came along and helped me rediscover my purpose. My new place of employment has been most welcoming, and for the first time in a long time, I feel content with my lot in life. That's wonderful. So, what is it you wish to discuss? Well, it's hard to ask this right after you've settled in, but I'm looking for someone to become a Potsworn. Ah, I've heard my new colleagues mention the term. That's when an artisan signs a contract to work for the Moblins, isn't it? But you're not a Moblin. I'm not sure I understand. It's for a feat in the right of succession. I need to bring a new Potsworn to Earthenshire. So that is the way of it. We've barely met, and after pushing you to work at Wachumeki Meki, I'm now demanding you throw that away and sign a pot pact instead. It's a selfish request, I know. I have something to tell you, Third Promise. The other day I completed the necessary procedures for immigration. I'm pleased to say I am now an official subject of Tuliolol. I've since endeavored to learn what I can of my new nation, beginning with the right of succession and its claimants, including you, of course. Now, you will recall it was my father's example which led me to pursue goldsmithing. He was at East End when Garlean forces laid siege to the settlement, and in the ensuing chaos, he was slain. War took him from me in an instant, a man I loved and admired. I never wish to suffer such a loss again. And so, as much as I'm indebted to you for turning my life around, it is as a fellow peace-loving Tuliolan that I want you to win the throne. If I can help you achieve that by signing a pot pact, then I shall gladly do so. Fan Jantan, thank you. I shall return to Master Ropley and inform him of my decision. Allow me, I'm the reason you're leaving, so I should be the one to deliver the news. Perhaps you remember me, Brook Evu, owner of Zabalyav Tia. I'd like a word if you don't mind. You're Wuklamat's ally from across the Salt, right? And a hero of some renown, too, if the gossip's to be believed. Well, as it so happens, I could use some heroic help. It doesn't need to be right now, but could you come by when you have a spare moment? Much appreciated. I'll be waiting for you at my shop then. Yep, role quests. He's the NPC that starts the chain that unlocks them. Hello, Preet. Good evening, good evening. Bum, bum, bum. Master Oakley, I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but, Fanjantan has agreed to sign the Pot Pact, yes? While it is a shame to lose a capable goldsmith, to have one of our own hand-picked to serve the third promise is a great honor for Wachumeki Meki. I appreciate your understanding. Of course, if you happen to know other talented artisans, regardless of their expertise, I hope you send them my way. You could even be yourself if you're so inclined. I'll keep that in mind. Though my time here was brief, I will not forget your kindness, Master Rupley. I am blessed to have these workshops be my first home in Tuliolaw. Come back to us if the moblins cut you loose. You'll always have a job at Wachumeki Meki. I expect you'll want to leave for Earthenshire as soon as possible. I'll go and pack my things. What became of Fanjantan? Were you able to find him? We did, and he's agreed to become a potsworn. We'll leave when he's ready, but you still have a little time. Splendid. We shall meet you anon. I had plenty of reasons to win the contest, but now I have one more. Fanjantan's putting his faith in me, and I won't let him down. We can now unlock the liveries as well for the crafters and gatherers. Wuklamat needs to pay a visit to the palace. Right then, I have some things to take care of at the palace. While you can pass the time however you like, I'd suggest you head back to the cabins. After all, even heroes need to rest, and we still have a big journey ahead of us. Welcome back, sir. You've had a Landsguard messenger most anxiously waiting on your return. Reign of the Third Promise's entourage, I've been all over the city looking for you. The Dawn Servant summons you to the palace. You are to present yourself to the gate guard stationed outside Sunperch at your earliest convenience. And one more thing. You are not to mention this visit to Wuklamat. Uh-oh. Some sussy secrets, eh? Okay, the Farard Cabins. Okay, pretty cool that there's a little balcony with a view on the beach. Big ass couch. Big enough to be a bed. Some nice reed screens. Comfy feather bed. All the usuals. I need to get some Dawntrail Orchestrions. And the new Extreme Orchestrion for the second one. That music is so good. Uh-oh, we've got the duty indicator. The Dawn Servant awaits you within. While I was not informed of the reason for your audience, in terms of attire, I would suggest full battle regalia.
forgive me this sudden summons. When I learned my daughter's champion was back in the city, I couldn't resist the opportunity. And they call me head of resolve for good reason. Old as I am, I have not lost a battle worthy of the name since the day I took the throne. And I've been craving a proper challenge. The Lance Wielder, Stinian, he fought well enough, but our bout was ended before a victor could be decided. Judging by the sailors' gossip, you are a warrior of renown in your homeland. Yet I wonder, with all your deeds done and victories won, are you warrior enough to stand against me?
Why don't we find out? So long as neither of us gets too carried away, I'm not interested in fighting. Why don't we find out?
A spirited answer. Why not indeed? The battle rages upon me. I'll stop short of killing you, of course. But expect no other mercies. Come! Ready your arms, and show me the truth of the tales.
My man doesn't know a top weapon when he sees one, I guess. What? Oh, right, okay. I forgot that Glare 4 is... Presence of Mind changes to Glare 4 instead of Glare 3. It fucks me up.
Let's test the waters. They didn't even blink. Have you ever fought a viper? Ha! Let's see how you handle this.
Good one.
The spearman did not lie. Very well then.
Battle Breaker. Okay, I'll take a look after this, Preet.
Resolve and listen, kingdom. All right.
So, that one? Okay, let me know when you're back then. It is just the proximity AoE, so it is just, the closer that your teammates are, the more damage it is doing to them, so that's why you take it away.
Did you think you had my measure? Take this! Guess we're holding up?
Oh, right, knockback.
We're far from finished!
Hey, congrats them. How did you like the fight?
No more holding back! Stay alert!
Uh-oh. Welcome back, Preet. Did you hear what I said about that AoE?
Well, gee.
So it is just the proximity AoE. So the closer that other people are to you when you have this AoE, the more damage they take. So that's why you take it away from the party. Just people that are close to you take higher damage. People that are far from you take lower damage.
You really are formidable.
Okay, they're doing that.
See what you're truly
Those three doing. They're gonna shoot this spot, right? I don't know what they're doing. Oh, towers. Okay.
That will do. You've shown me more than enough. I brought my full strength to bear against opponents before, but you are the first to withstand it. Even with my head of reason asleep, I never expected you to give me so much trouble. Estinian did not exaggerate. You are a force to be reckoned with.
I think he wants to make sure that Huklamat will win the competition, and that's why he wanted to fight us. And I suspect he set things up in a way where that will pretty much be the outcome no matter what, but we'll see about that.
Now, a confession. I said I crave a challenge, and that was no lie. But I had another reason for calling you here. I had to judge for myself if you were fit to attend my beloved daughter. In some respects, she is much like me. Hard-headed and prone to rush into danger. But one with your healing touch could sustain Lamachi even as she contends with the most fearsome of foes.
That's nice. That must be that they did a custom line for each role, right? Healing touch, because that wouldn't make sense with most jobs.
Will you hear my question and answer me plainly? Address me not as the ruler of Tuliola, but a concerned father. Thank you. Then tell me, given your journey together thus far, what is your impression of Lamachi? Whether it be as their promise or just a companion on the road. Speak your mind.
She is young but has potential, or she's not ready to rule.
Ha! A tactful response, but agreed. She is not ready for the throne. Not yet. Lamachi thinks she understands our many peoples. Their histories, their cultures, their beliefs. But she knows only what she's seen in the capital. And it's not only her who concerns me. Even this early in the contest, you must have realized. As potential rulers, all four claimants are lacking. This is why I elected to hold the right of succession. Not to choose a fitting candidate, but to cultivate one.
Galaxy brain, go little Jaja.
And if no one has impressed me by the end of it, then to no one will I yield my throne. As a parent, I pray that my children rise to the occasion. With outsiders dragged into my game, I am also hopeful that the different perspectives you and your companions have to offer will inspire them to grow. I imagine you in particular have traveled many lands, know many peoples and cultures, loved them and been loved in turn. Guide Lamachi as you think best. Walk at her side and, when needed, push her to walk ahead.
I knew it.
Uh-oh.
There I was, about to sit down for some of Namika's cooking, when I heard that Papa had sent for you.
Who snitched?
You were dueling behind my back, weren't you?
I see there is no point in denying it. You needn't worry, daughter. I took care not to inflict lasting injuries. You and your ally may return to the contest without disadvantage. No harm done.
I swear, just as I was learning newfound respect for my father. Let's take our leave of this battle-mad oaf before he calls on the rest of my entourage.
Watch over her, champion. Kona's recruits are no less sharp, as one might expect of Galloff's countrymen. They saw the flaws in our claimants from the outset. The other two, though, they dismiss comrades willing to point out their shortcomings, and no good can come of it.
I think his character is great. If he had his way, Papa would keep dueling until the day he dies. Even now, I know of only 3 people who didn't need to be carried away after their bouts. Zoral Ja, your lance-wielding friend Estinian, and yourself. You really do live up to your fearsome reputation. I'm curious though, did Papa want anything else of you? Now you're putting me in an awkward position, Muklamat. Do I lie to you? Or do I betray your father's confidence? Small favor, nothing more. Yeah, you can kind of think of it like that, I guess. Well, if that's all it was. Muklamat thinks it is time to gather her allies for the road ahead. I still haven't had one bite of Namika's food thanks to Papa's nonsense, so I'm going back to finish my plate before I head out. I've otherwise asked everyone to meet at the Farard cabins. Come and join us after you've had a moment to recover, eh? Damn it, Papa. Go eat. Await your companions and continue with the rite of succession. I think we are ready to go. Sorry to keep everyone waiting. Is that it? You're all set to go? I left Eorzea prepared to travel in search of work, so I had few belongings to begin with. Bidding farewell to my fellow artisans took rather a lot of time, however. Again, I appreciate you making this commitment, Fan Shantan. Shall we depart for Earthenshire, then? A word before you go. It's the guy we gave the wool to, right? Or sold the wool, traded the wool to. Wukivu, what are you doing here? Ah, Wait, is this the crazy guy from... I spend my days correcting manners, and here I am perpetrating the grave offense of delaying the third promise's departure. It is the weird guy. Please, take up your axe and rend my flesh onto taco meat. Must your demands be so gruesome? Besides, I told you that kind of thing doesn't bother me. Alright then, I won't let it bother me either. What was that all about? I'd come to the city to purchase supplies when I spotted your entourage getting ready to leave. You seek the City of Gold, if I'm not mistaken. That's right. It's the final step of the rite of succession. If you know anything about the subject, I'd love to hear it. Then allow me to be of service. As you know, legends of the Golden City have been passed down in Tyrol for 1,000 years. Yet when it comes to describing the place itself, the stories do not always agree. Some portray it as one might expect, a glittering metropolis of golden towers. Others suggest it is more unassuming and owes the name to a fabulous treasure hidden at its heart. Every telling, however, has a common thread. Those who go in search of the Golden City do not return. Lesson to be learned from this third promise is that to seek the legend is to court death. I must implore you to proceed with the utmost care. That is all I wish to say. I shall pray for your safe journey. Thank you, Wukivu. What are we to make of these cautionary tales? If every expedition has ended in tragedy, how then did the Dawn Servant find the city and return without incident? It seems the legend originated with the Yakoi. Speaking with them remains our strongest lead, I feel. A lead we shall follow in time, but first let us see Fanjantan safely into the Moblin's care. Meanwhile, in Kozamauka,
finding a willing artisan was even easier than expected. Many indeed are eager to curry favor with the Resilian sun, especially if it means sharing the promise of new territories.
Those who prove useful will have all the land they desire.
Such generous words, yet the manner in which he speaks them. If neither wealth nor territory are of value, wherefore does he seek to bring the world to heel?
Step aside.
uh-oh.
Remind me. There was no rule against poaching craftsmen from other claimants. Was there?
Do not be foolish, Bakul Jaja.
Foolish would be carrying on with these dull feats when all I need to win are the keystones. And besides, it's long past time I humble this arrogant one-head. The Dawn Servant may have sired you against all odds, but there is nothing blessed about your birth. Only a two-head is fit to rule. Only we are worthy. Draw your weapon! Face me in battle, and learn your place.
A moment, first promise. Leave him alive, if you would. I foresee a use for this nuisance.
They are both very overconfident.
Too scared to make the first move? Then allow me!
Damn. Those are all Jaws not fucking around, I guess.
Just a runt.
My thanks for your restraint. I can kill him whenever I please. Your part in this is far from over.
I have a feeling he's not going to find that as humbling as he should have, but that was certainly not how I expected it to go in my head. We're back, and we've brought with us a willing potsworn. This is Fanjantan, a talented goldsmith who once worked at Astain's Aesthetics in Ul'dah. Wonderful. Impressive. You are first to return, third promise. And with an artisan from across the salt, no less. We welcome you and your unique skills to Earthshire. Helphand will show you to the workpot. This is it then. I look forward to hearing you proclaim Dawn Servant. Thank you, Fanjantan. I'll be sure not to disappoint you. You have met the requirements of the Feat of Pots. Rhetorok presents your keystone with joy smiles and well-wishing. That makes 3. Go, more pot-sworn candidates. Come, come, tell Rhetorok your tales. Another feat accomplished, another keystone acquired. Oh ho ho, you are doing well. I expected nothing less of Zeral Jazik's esteemed siblings. Your cleverness in particular is most admirable, second promise. We must have you apply that Sharlayan knowledge you so cherish, and arm Tural with weapons of Magitech design. In your role as the new Dawn Servant's chief advisor, of course. The tools of war hold no interest for me. I wish only to improve our nation through practical innovations. Foreign powers will think twice about testing our strength once Tuliolol is known for its advanced technology, just as the Garlean Empire was deterred from invading Sharlayan. That may well be true, but how long will it take Tuliolol to progress to this advanced state? How many years? With a collective commitment to education and hard work, it should not take so very. Your way is too slow. Easier to expand our territory and swallow Sharlayan whole. Conquer other nations through force of arms, and you're looking at a future of uprisings and bloodshed. Yours wouldn't be the first failed empire. Then we keep fighting until the mounting costs convince them to lay down their weapons, until all have grown tired of loss. How would such an outcome bring anyone joy? What purpose is a mockery of... What you propose is a mockery of peace. Go. Rhetorok is reminded of days long ago. In the time before Tuliolol, there were no pot packs for the potsworn. It was normal to grab snatch artisans and force them to work for mobbies. Until the day Galul Jaja arrived. The families of the grab snatched pleaded with him, and so he came to Earthenshire. Mobbies are not a warm-make people. We feared death had come for us, but Galul Jaja just wanted to talk. Be at ease. We are here to trade words, not blows. The gold work crafted in this village is superb. One can tell at a glance the quality of materials used, the mastery of technique employed. Yet it does not stir the heart. A goblet shaped by bound hands and broken spirit is devoid of luster. Compare that now to the works of a joyful artisan. She pours her very soul into her creations, and they shine like the newly risen sun. Have you not seen this to be true? And so began the custom of good living. Happy potsworn make good works, and good works make mobbies happy. Galul Jaja's words were wise. Joy smiles did indeed bring fine craft and much jingly shine. So the head of reason was behind the forging of pot packs. Yes, reason and clever think changed Mobby's way of life. Oh, the jingly shine. The first promise tires of your talk of olden days. He would rather look to the future and the next feat. The first promise is obsessed with feet is what I have noticed. Kind of a weird guy. We should be getting on as well. Bako Jaja never did come back, did he? He just got humiliated. He probably needs some time to reel. Go. Do you have a moment, third promise? Rakarak would repay you for hand-helping with Kahe. He brings a tale of the Golden City. Really? I'd love to hear it. The towers, the streets, all fashioned from gold. Everywhere you look, every splendor you can imagine. The young, the old, and everyone in between, they live in golden happiness. A city of eternal bliss, forever perched above the clouds. Everything fashioned from gold, eh? And just imagine everyone living in golden happiness. Now that's a city I'd like to visit. Excuse me, Rakarak. Where did you hear that particular tale? From our longtime Yakoi friends. They live up in the mountains, in Erkopacha. The giants again. Seems everything is pointing us their way. This feat and everything leading up to it has taught me much about the Moblin way of life. I'll be sad to leave Earthenshire and your joy smiles behind. Hello, Epi. Yeah, this is NA. Right, we should go and see the giants next. Agreed. Golden mysteries notwithstanding, their village is featured prominently in the saga and is not to be ignored. The Erkopacha Highlands should be easy enough to reach from here. If we leave Earthenshire from the west, there's a road that leads up into the mountains. Let's find that first. Yeah, I've got the alerts and chat and everything turned off right now. Board the MSQ. Yeah, it's been like that here as well. It's been super dry and then it will just... There will be a crazy storm and then super dry again, which normally it's super rainy here during the warm season. Looks like the trail is going to get steep from here on in. I hope everyone is ready for some climbing. Third promise. I'm glad I caught you. Redarok asked me to bring you back to the village. She says there's something she forgot to give you. Huh? Something other than the keystone? Yes, an item of great importance, or so I was told. It shouldn't take long, if you would please follow me. I wonder what this is all about. Well, no need for everyone to come. I'll be back in a little while. Thus. This is taking quite a while. Just keep waiting for now, I suppose. Perhaps there were complications. Well, let us wait a little longer. This is getting a little ridiculous. Did she get lost on the way back to find us? But how? There's only the one road. I wouldn't underestimate Uklamat's sense of direction, or lack thereof. Yo, same for me, to be honest. Fortunately, she has a link pearl. Let's see what's keeping her, shall we? She's not responding. Perhaps we should all return to Earthenshire. 'Twas Redarok who had business with her, yes? Yeah, I have a feeling that she never made it back to Earthenshire, but we'll see. We'll see. I think those pretty strong, but I think that Reaper and Viper are on top at the moment. They are more strong than Black Mage. Black Mage seems to need a buff. Go, back again so soon? We've come looking for Uklamat. Did you not send someone to fetch her? Redarok did not. Neither has she seen the third promise since you were last here. Then who was that man who came for her? Oh, I thought you'd left already. Where is Lamatia? Is she not with you? You don't know where she is? How could you let this happen? That thou shouldst worry for thy sister is understandable. Yet rather than assign blame, thine energies are better spent on locating her. I will help you search. This is not how I'd wish a fellow claimant to lose the contest, my sister least of all. In that case, dividing our forces will allow us to cover more ground. Rain and I should work together at least, the better to facilitate communication between our groups. Then the rest of us will split up. Report in should you find anything. We'll be on our way as well. Right, keep in touch. Come, we should begin our search. Kona is anxious to begin the search for Uklamat. I mean, I knew something was going to happen the moment that she was like, I'll go back by myself. You guys stay here, even though the village is right over there and we could all just go together. And also the bad shit's gonna happen music was playing, so... If Lamatia was returning to Earthenshire from the west, then she should have passed through here. Except Rhetoric swears she didn't see her. In which case, 'tis entirely possible that Lamatia never made it back to the village at all. The only way to be certain is to ask the sentry stationed at the opposite entrance. Go, the third promise, Mobby has been standing at his post with diligent eye-watchings. He has seen no claimants pass this way. What of a Tanawawta? What of a Tanawalta with brightly colored hair? Mobby knows something of this one. He hears tongue flaps about the Pelu peddler and many fires who was attacked by a crazy hair bandit on the road. A bandit, you say? Thank you, you've been most helpful. My sister is clearly not here. Though I wish it were otherwise, we must consider the possibility that the Tanawautan messenger and the brigand described by the sentry are one and the same, and that Lamatia is in very real danger. Come, let us hurry to Many Fires. I'd like a word with this peddler should they still be around. Was there something I could help you with? I'm told you were the victim of a bandit attack. Could you recount exactly what happened? My goodness, I thought I recognized you. I'll tell you everything I remember, second promise. It was that scoundrel Wakesa who ambushed me. You know the name of your attacker? There's no mistaking that hair. All my peddler friends have stories of that notorious bandit leader and his predations. Wakesa and his gang will stoop to any low for the sake of a few pel. And with no fresh quarry coming up the broken stairs, they've had to become more creative. Little wonder he went after Lamatia. He likely thinks to ransom her for a royal sum. I expect he'll soon make his demands, but I don't intend to wait. We'll find this villain first and deliver his deserved payment in person. What say you to a small deception? I will assume the role of a well-to-do merchant to lure Wakesa out of hiding. Then, when he comes sniffing about, we catch the rat by the tail. An excellent plan, and I have just the right garments for your disguise, at a specially discounted price, of course. A brush with bandits hasn't dampened your mercantile spirit, I see. Very well, I accept your generous deal. Now we lay the bait. I will precede you into Many Fires to make my presence known. You follow on behind, boasting to those along the way how you paid me a hefty purse in exchange for a rare gemstone or some such. If Wakesa is as coin-hungry as they say, then a recently enriched peddler should be an irresistible mark. We let him strike, and then we spring our trap. Time to play our parts. Follow Kona's lead and try not to fall behind. Follow me. Well, at least I can admire the nice texture of this fabric while we do this fillery bit. There, that's Jabral fellow. Share with him how happy your imaginary deal with me has made you. Once you've put on an appropriate display, we can continue to our next performance. A rare gemstone from that Hetsato merchant, you say? I envy the profit he must have made from such a sale. Since the stairs were destroyed, I have not been able to peddle goods at my usual haunts. A good start, but I would make certain Walkessa is aware of me. Let's continue. That moblin over there looks amenable to conversation. The stage is yours, Rain. Oh, that moblin. Go. The Hetsato sold you a sparkle stone for your collection? Well, that explains your giant joy smiles. Mabi is happy for your happiness. Mabi is also jealous of the merchant and all the jingly shine he must have made. That should be enough, but perhaps one last act to drive it home. Do you see that cheerful Pelu? Tell him the tale of your precious gemstone, and then we'll be done with this part of the charade. A passing peddler had the very gemstone you sought for your collection. That is a stroke of luck. And I'll wager the merchant was just as pleased to fill his pockets with your grateful coin, eh? Well, I'm inspired to go and earn some pel of my own. Who knows, maybe opportunity will find me, even as it found you. Ah, my most valued customer. The profit from that single purchase of yours should see me through weeks of idle leisure. Traveling with such a fat purse and no sellswords is tempting fate, so I shall make Earthenshire my last stop, and then return forthwith to Tuliolol. What a punchable face that guy had. Did you see? The rat has come for a nibble. You played your part to perfection, Rain. A man of many talents, just as Thancred and Urianger described. Now let us lure Walkessa out and spring our trap. Ona wishes to execute the final stage of his plan. Let us execute the final stage of the plan. I will set out towards Earthenshire alone and unarmed, the better to sell the act of a defenseless merchant. Assuming Walkessa is watching, he will likely wait for some quiet stretch of the road before accosting me. I'll be relying on you to follow closely behind, remaining hidden until the time comes to spring the trap on our bandit king. Just remember, we need him alive. Uh-oh. I hear business has been good to you, Master Merchant. How about you share some of the profits? And by some, I mean every coin you have. You're that gemstone collector. Oh, I see what this is. We've been tricked. Spit in your eye. Men, kill these Vidral. Slippery vermin. We'll have to interrogate his underlings instead. If you would be so kind, Rain, pray leave them capable of speech. Gah, he's too strong. I was hoping to talk with your boss, but I suppose you three will have to do. Wait, that's the second promise. What do you want with us? Think I'm scared of a fancy title? I'll take your royal ears as a trophy, as soon as I get free of these ropes. I know your gang is behind my sister's abduction. Tell me where she is. Eat pack of shit, salt lover. You'll get no answers from us. That's right, we don't serve you. Do not play games with me. Where is Wuklamot? I am fast losing patience. Talk now or die. The choice is yours. We were hired to nab the third promise, that's all. We don't know where they took her. Hired by whom? We weren't told that either. Only Waukessa knows. He's the one who took the job. Well, it seems we needed their leader after all. Once I've arranged for the Landsguard to take custody of these criminals, I'll call on Thancred and his tracking skills. But perhaps you could pursue Waukessa in the meantime. The bandit was running in an easterly direction. Should you locate him, I suggest you shadow him rather than force a confrontation. He might lead us to where Lamatia is being held. The one thing this seems to actually contribute to the story is it shows that Kona is willing to put the entire succession competition to the side. It's basically showing us that even though they're competitors, that the bond between Wuklamot and Kona is still pretty strong. And that he still prios her over... Like, he's not absolutely cutthroat. Is I guess the point I'm trying to make. Do we need to go through all of this for them to tell that part of the story? Not so sure about that. But at least I think there are only 2 of these in the entire MSQ, so it could be worse. These follow missions. Follow Waukessa from a distance. The objective will end in failure if you are noticed or fall too far behind. Where even is he? Okay, I see him now. Almost there. Finally, my money. Give it to me now. The Landsguard may be hunting us already. Calm yourself. We had our own troubles finding a suitable hideaway. Right. We're finished. Take your prize and leave me out of the rest. Such hostility. You were hurting for coin, and I offered you gainful employment out of the kindness of my heart. Kindness? You brought a blackened tempest upon us. One look and I could tell that man was a killer, a butcher, a salted devil in the flesh. Oh, spare me your fearful bleeding. Go on, scamper away now before the scary mercenaries come to claim your head. Kona told me the news. You found the abductor then? What's the situation? And you think the bandits were hired by this Hubago? Alright, new strategy. Forget Wild Kessa and stay on the Mamoja's tail. We don't want to endanger the third promise, so keep your distance until we're certain they have her. I'll catch up to you as soon as I'm able. This is Thancred. Follow the Hubago from a safe distance. The objective will end in failure if you are noticed or fall too far behind. If you fail to complete the objective, you may try again by surveying the designated location. Was so fun. I was just thinking to myself, man, I really hope that we get to do some more following. And my wish was granted. I'd better hurry if I don't want a beating. Okay, some sabotage.
Better late than never. That Marmulja, he's the one who kidnapped Wuk-Lamat. So we're still unsure. If we can follow him a bit longer, confirm his connection to the abductors. That will complicate matters.
Uh-oh.
Confound it!
If I set out now, I can trail them along the riverbank.
Do it!
Even if it costs you the contest.
What worth is the throne if I lose my sister to win it?
Very well then. I'll send word when I locate her. Till then, I suggest you save your strength. A rescue attempt could turn ugly.
That Hubigo just now. I swear I've seen him with Bakul Jaja. Knowing the way that monster works, he probably hired bandits to kidnap her so he could steal her keystones. But even alone, my sister is more than a match for a gang of untrained ruffians. She must have been ambushed or deceived.
I was thinking that too, is that Wuk-Lamat is... You know, she might not be the strongest fighter in Thra, but she's pretty strong. So I wonder if... Like, maybe she had some plan once she realized it was an ambush or something.
Gah! I should have been there! If those bastards have hurt her!
But at least we get some character development for Kona. You need to calm down, be patient, trust in Thancred, or I thought you were the cool-headed one. You need to calm down.
How can I be calm when... Forgive me. Snapping at you won't get my sister back. I'm afraid I've always been like this when it comes to Lamachi. The thought of her being in danger sends me into a panic.
He's always a bit of an overprotective brother, that's kind of cute.
But isn't that how families should be? These days, Turali Mikote live however they please. But the clan into which I was born kept to the nomadic traditions of our ancestors. They herded their own neck across the plains, always moving with the seasons. During one such migration, my birth parents left me behind. A child. All alone. Without a single word of explanation. A chance encounter with a kind Pelu merchant was the only reason I survived.
Hiya.
Taking pity on me, he taught me his trade that I might fend for myself. I became a stallkeeper in Tuliyolal's market. And that is where the Dawn servant found and adopted me. I had already been in the palace some time when Lamachi came to join us. Like me, she had been cast aside by her parents. I knew the pain of solitude and wanted to spare her that suffering. As this tiny child's new brother, I swore I would always be there for her.
So, as you might now understand, I will stop at nothing to rescue her.
I love this soundtrack, by the way, with this dissonant guitar.
While we await word from Tancred, I suggest we prepare ourselves to travel downriver. You have a boat, yes?
It reminds me of the Tristram theme from the first Diablo, even though the two soundtracks are nothing alike. That guitar in particular, it really brings back memories of Tristram to me.
Why release the Ponity if not to delay pursuit? If we were unsure of their guilt before, then this surely proves it. Before we act, however, let us regroup with your comrades. Would you mind making the call?
Understood. We'll meet you at many fires.
I may have put rescuing Lamatia ahead of my own progress, but do not take that to mean I've given up on the contest. You understand how important she is to me, yet regardless of how close we were, I would have made the same choice. After all, if I am incapable of saving my sister while also winning the throne, then I am not fit to inherit our father's heavy mantle. Feeding the river, Kono wishes to gather your companions for the upcoming rescue mission. We need to gather our forces. Firstly, allow me to brief everyone on our present situation. Thus, at the very least, we believe this Hubago knows where Lamatia has been taken. Thancred is shadowing their boat even as we speak, and I should like to join him with all haste. Unfortunately, our quarry had the foresight to release your Punati from its harness, leaving us without a means to give pursuit. Arenville, as an expert on wildlife, what are our chances of recapturing the beast? With the right mix of feed, it can be done. I should like an extra hand to help scatter it about, however. Would you accompany him, Rain? Feed Spreader of Light, let's go. Meanwhile, the rest of us should work on getting the harness repaired. It appears to have been damaged when the Punatia was let loose. With all the peddlers here in camp, we should have little trouble purchasing replacement materials. As for any necessary metalwork, Earthenshire's artisans are but a short walk away. Then let us divide the tasks and have at it. There was an unusually aggressive herd of wild Punatias. I struggle with this one so much. Wild Punatias downriver. So our girl will have fled in the opposite direction. Come, we'll try the waters upriver. If only I wasn't American, then maybe I could read. Every time certain words pop up, it is like my brain wants to read it one way, and then I have to stop and tell myself, no, that's not how that's pronounced. And then my mouth gets ahead of my brain, and then weird noises come out, and I have to redo. Assuming our Punatia has come this way, she'll be hiding in the depths of Marsh Ligaka. We'll need to lure her back to the shallows with the promise of food. Wild Punatias eat mainly aquatic grasses and plants, but the tame ones are often fed vegetable scraps. Knowing this, I added leftovers to the feed I prepared. This should help the mixture stand out against the marsh's natural scents. Big brain, Aaronville. Ligaka is crawling with predators, however, so I'll leave it to you to scatter feed deeper in. I'll be waiting for you near the shallows with the rest of our Punatia's enticing feast. Punutia feed. This pungent Punutia feed contains a mix of aquatic plants and vegetable scraps. You scatter Aaronville's Punutia feed along the water's edge. Damn, those bass notes on the piano. Oh, I like the bike a lot. And I like that it turns into a drone when you fly on it. You scatter Aaronville's Punutia feed along the water's edge. All set. I've just finished laying out the last of the bait. Step back out of sight and leave the rest to me. Here she is. Shh, there's nothing to be afraid of. We just need your help one last time. You're hungry, I wager. Come on, come with me. Yes, there's a good girl. We'll be fine here, I think. I'll give her a few more treats, then lead her over to the boat. You can let Kona know we have our Punutia back. I don't know. Probably some lore guy who's got a Reddit post about it. Aaronville has the Punutia in hand then? Good. I expected nothing less from a certified gleaner. As for the harness, we were able to purchase all the parts we need. The Levier twins are over in Earthenshire right now, having the Potsworn make the repairs. I'm told it shouldn't take long. We'll be ready to embark on our rescue mission as soon as we hear from Thancred. Sibling Rescue. Kona is nervously awaiting the call from Thancred. Thancred must know something by now. You found her? Understood. Thank you. I had but to invoke his name. Thancred followed the Hubago's boat to its destination, and confirmed that they are indeed holding my sister captive. They, of course, being Bakojaja and his minions. I swear I will make them regret this. Lamatia is in rich leaf tunnels. The moment the harness is repaired, we strap into Punutia and make our way back down Ihui Katumu. Alright, I said Ihui Katumu without stumbling. Very good, very good. Big proud. This is Thancred.
Thancred.
The third promise is up ahead. She's unharmed, but we best not dally.
I spit on these pathetic feats. Far more satisfying to claim their baubles by force.
Give it back! Forzanten poured his everything into that stone. You've no right to touch it!
Oh, was that the name of your artisan? How could you allow something so precious to be stolen?
You thieving cheat! You're no true claimant!
What does that make the foolish kitty who fell into my trap? If pitiful roars were all it took to claim the throne, you'd be first in line.
I'm still upset with this guy about the taco incident, to be honest. That's reason enough to kill him, I think.
Now, brother. You shouldn't tease her. Look, the poor thing's on the verge of tears. Meow. Someone save me.
Damn. Talking big shit.
Who did that?
His scales are as thick as his skulls.
Coward! You dare ambush me?
'Tis the blessed sibling's favorite tactic.
That useless Buddha was sycophant. He was supposed to keep the lackeys running in circles.
Oh, you must tell me all about that.
Get his ass, Kona.
For now, you wouldn't want to hit her hostage.
That one's not to be underestimated.
They can do nothing while we have.
Her face. Hey, touchdown.
Impeccable timing.
Amachi, are you all right?
Aye, thanks to you.
These weaklings think they can defy us? We'll slaughter the lot of them!
Patience, brother. The keystone is ours. There is no need to fight this day. And Zoralja has left us hurting.
What? We're gonna let them go with the keystone?
No! I won't stop until I gut these maggots and feed them their entrails!
If we fall here, we fail our siblings for nothing. Is that what you want?
No, brother. Break off! We retreat!
Wait! Damn you, Bakul Jaja!
Do we give chase?
We head back. Hamachi is safe. And that is what matters.
I'm glad to see you unharmed, Lamatia. Thanks again for coming to my rescue, Kona. And all of you, too. Bakojaja must be desperate indeed to resort to such aggressive tactics. I shouldn't have been so careless. I underestimated him, and it cost me a keystone. Banjantan upended his life so that I could accomplish the Moblin's feat. He believed in me, believed in my cause, and I've let him down. So we take back what was stolen. Yes, we'll do exactly that. The next time I meet that brute, I'll knock him straight on his scaly behind and take back my keystone. Speaking of vengeance, didn't Bakojaja curse some useless Bunowa sycophant when he caught sight of us? A reference to Suryoja, I would assume. He is devoted to our brother, and is the only Bunowa I know of participating in the rite of succession. If Suryoja was somehow involved in this, I will never forgive him for putting our sister in danger. He will have forfeited his right to be called brother. Bakojaja should face punishment, of course, but so must the bandits who had the temerity to abduct Lamatia. I shall request that Father send a contingent of Landsguard to enforce the law in this region. I agree that measures need to be taken to keep travelers safe. But I wonder what pushed these people towards a life of banditry in the first place. If we dig deeper, we might find a way to improve things for everyone. Now she's thinking like leader. There's something to think about. For now, however, the rite continues. I thank you all for your help. We should be moving on as well. Are you feeling fit to travel, Wuklamat? You bet I am. Zaralja has gained a good head start, and it's time we clawed back some lost ground. I am really sorry this happened. From now on, I won't let my guard down around suspicious strangers. And again, I do appreciate you all coming to save me.